It's Andreas here, welcome back to my poker channel. In today's video I'm actually going to talk about PokerBros. Not something you would expect on this channel, but I thought that it was better to talk about it than nobody talking about these things. Now, first of all, I want to mention that I have no control over where people are playing. And if I could choose, I would have them play on a site where the integrity of the game is guaranteed or almost guaranteed, such as PokerStars. Even though in the past I've criticized PokerStars for quite a bit, I do think that they have the best security in 2022, 2023 going forward. But it is what it is. People are playing on these apps. Now, as a consequence, most people are trying to get into these games, right? And then see whether there's too much collusion, whether people are cheating too much so they can no longer win. Now, Matt Berkey on the Solve for Why podcast has said that everyone's losing on these apps, and that is not the truth. Some people have been winning. I have been winning. The problem is that this year I think it has gotten quite a bit worse and nobody cares, right? Literally nobody. As long as people are still making some dollars, as long as they're winning, they continue to play without really making an effort of increasing the cheating prevention. Now, as all the other apps and sites, these apps have a security department and they're supposed to keep the integrity of the games high. And I think it is surprising that the games haven't been colluded and cheated more, because you would expect without any downside, people, human nature, to cheat a lot in these games. And that has not been the case, at least not in the mid-stakes region. I think if you're playing 10, 20, 25, 50 and higher, you pretty much have to expect to get cheated, because the money involved incentivizes people to find more sophisticated ways of cheating, and they certainly have, I think. I want to show you my process of how to detect cheating, and the only way that you can do that is to basically have data yourself, and you do that with a tracker. So how have people been cheating? I'm going to show you a screenshot that I found of two IDs that are clearly either a bot or a multi-accounter. Now, level one of cheating is that you basically, whenever you have a top hand like aces, whether you play 4-card, 5-card or 6-card, and you play with another ID, you raise, and then you let the other ID 3-bet or squeeze, and then you are able to 4-bet. That's how colluders have been operating at the beginning. And this is obviously quite unsophisticated cheating, and it gets detected. And some people have been banned for doing so, at least after a while, and at least on some platforms. Now, this instance here is, in my opinion, not that sophisticated, but it's still more so than the beginner colluders. Now, if you see the screenshot, it's already, the screenshot by itself is, I would say 95% to 99% cheating already, because of a few things that you can see. First of all, both IDs here that you can see have played 2.5k hands. And for them to have played exactly the same amount of volume with the exact same amount of stats, I mean, you can see their VPIP is the same, the preflop race is the same, 3-bet is the same, and the aggression factor is almost the same. It's 24.3 and 25.0. And I could show you as well, if you divided it by flop turn river, it's descending and it's exactly the same. They're obviously the same guy or the same bot or whatsoever. So the first thing that I usually do here is I try to disconfirm the evidence. Let's actually do that. The first step is you looking at the overall sample that you have, all the data that you have, and whether the accounts are actually winning. And what I found is quite the opposite of this confirming evidence. These accounts have been winning the most of everyone. Their win rates have been, I mean, even on a small sample, but the highest of the entire player pool. It's not even close. And to me, at this point, it's already clear they're cheating. Next up, what you can also do is, even though I don't even think it's that necessary, given that the information and the stats similarities that we have, you can look into the hands and what actually happened and how collusion was going down. Now, not even cherry picking, this is the biggest pot that these 2 or 3 accounts played. We have the ID 1696584 and the ID 1627983. So we have a limp, raise, and a 3-bet of the first multi-counter ID, multi-counter ID 2 calls. This is already like, you know, the biggest winner of the pool will not play king 7-7-6-5-4, quite obviously, with 4 suits, especially when the second biggest winner is 3-betting against a middle position open, even though that guy is obviously playing every hand. You would still not try to get in here as a good player and as a winning player. Anyway, 4-way to the flop, lead pot with the nuts and a little redraw, nuts and a little redraw just calls. And then this guy must have had a nut flush draw here, because otherwise it wouldn't make like any sense to call here, given the action. You cannot really call here with the second nut flush draw. And because of the turn, I already know there's no 7-5, 7-4s that the guy could have called. And yeah, there's not really any sets except for deuces maybe. So maybe deuces and the king high flush draw, something could still be possible. Now, turn already gets suspicious again, small bet, and then here, no protection raise with what I think is a nut flush. Well, you could be trapping, but then you also allow a third player to sometimes call with boat outs like he had here. But obviously if you're the same guy, you can allow this, or you want to allow this, and then river boats. And again here, not a data point. Here usually out of position should be leading, not allowing a check through. Of course, you could also allow bluffs if you think that's likely going to happen. That's the only upside of checking, given exactly 7-7-6. But yeah, you also unblock like the ace of hearts. You don't have it, so it's likely going to get checked through. Anyway, the guy also has a boat, so he's going all in. And then this guy folds, given one, like he only needs to call for 300 more in a massive pot of 2K. But I mean, if you know that your buddy is, or other account is calling behind, you don't need to do that, obviously. So yeah, this hand is quite ridiculous. If you don't see that, I just can't help you. Also, if you look at the stats, you can see a couple of more stats. For example, raise CBET percentage is 4% on this account. It's also 3.6% on this account. And this is not true for anyone else, right? It's 11% here. It's 8% here. It's 5.8. Okay, this is quite a tight regular, and then 9.3% here. Like there's aggression frequencies 29, 24, 18, and then 27, 24, 17. The stats are just almost the same across all boards. It's impossible that this guy is just like a twin brother playing the same. Here is something that you have to know about some of these cheaters. They don't think like you. They're just different. Their minds operate differently. I mean, we've seen it with Mike Postle, for instance, like all these memes that were created around him and how he's the greatest, etc. They just love rubbing it in your face. And just a personal story that I will never forget also is I was at an artificial intelligence presentation, and I had some questions because I was just interested. So I talked to this artificial or AI guy and asked him what he thinks about the future in games and poker. And you know what he said at first? The first thing that got to his mind is, yeah, he cannot wait for artificial intelligence to be so good so that people can use AI to take and cheat everyone out of their money playing poker. This is just how it goes. Like, people enjoy this sort of shit, you know? They don't really feel remorse or anything shady is going on. They just enjoy the shit out of this to basically cheat in these games online. They just don't have the same understanding that most people have to play fair. And besides, who names two of his PokerBros accounts, Keshmar and then Markesh? Okay, these two accounts have never been on the same table, obviously. They have also almost the same ID. And then names the colluder account Rock. I mean, so obviously that it's the same dude, right? It's just like the guy spitting in everyone's face. All right, here is the official PokerBros security response. They have been frequently targeting the same tables. Yeah, no shit, right? I don't really know what to say about it. However, maybe that at least a conversation is starting. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about this video. Maybe you know still places, poker sites that have better security, where games are still running and you can play in a secure environment where, you know, decent stakes are running. and one doesn't have to deal with this mess so much. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to reach out, I'm on Twitter with the same handle, -poker, so Andreas Frödi. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next one.